Today's show is sponsored by the No Bullshit merch store on Teespring. Support the show by buying one of our tasty new t-shirt designs. We've got the classic No BS logo and the It's Okay to Be Right style, all available in shirts, sweaters, coffee mugs, and stickers at affordable prices. Do you want to look too cool for school? Order a No BS shirt today on Teespring, link below. Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Today we're talking about Obamagate, a new scandalous situation former President Barack Hussein Obama finds himself in as the current President Trump launches an investigation into it. This is actually part of a bigger story that broke last year, but has re-emerged as new evidence has been found concerning Obama's spying on the Trump campaign in 2016. President Trump tweeted about the story a few days ago, saying this: "Wow, word seems to be coming out that Obama FBI spied on the Trump campaign with an embedded informant. Andrew McCarthy says there's probably no doubt they had at least one confidential informant in the campaign. If so, this is bigger than Watergate." It certainly is, Mr. President. Watergate, of course, was pretty much the biggest American political scandal of all time, according to the mainstream media. And ever since Watergate, every scandal since it has been given its own gate term, hence the term Obamagate for this current one. But Obamagate is fixing to be even bigger and even more scandalous than the original, a true sequel. Obama always was a fancy, over-the-top guy trying to outdo everyone, so maybe this is fitting.
Don't interrupt. I'm so in love with you. I feel more loose and relaxed than ever. Girl. Those Joe Biden shoulder massages, they're like magic.
I mean, think about it. In Watergate, in the 1970s, men tried to spy on the DNC, the Democratic National Committee, while in Obamagate in 2016, men did spy on Trump. And in Watergate, Nixon didn't even know about the spying beforehand. What he got in trouble for was covering it up after the fact. But with Obamagate, Obama knew about it beforehand, and he tried to cover it up after, which is much, much worse, obviously, and a much more sketchy and incriminating place to be in. But for some reason, Obama isn't getting the same negative attention in the media, not even close to what Nixon was getting. I mean, Nixon is now known for this shit all around the world. The Watergate scandal is all people remember Nixon for, but Obama is getting away with his own, much worse scandal and fuck-ups, almost scot-free. Why? Well, it could be because he's not white, or because he's a Democrat. Either or both, probably. Take your pick.
He's about to go from commander-in-chief to couch commander.
You, Chuck Todd.
Oops.
You look great.
I feel good.
How much do you weigh?
You know, I could call a nuclear submarine right here.
Obamacare is great, and it's really working.
I have no more campaigns to run. I know because I won both of them.
But this even goes beyond the media not covering and not slamming Obama for this. They're actually helping him cover it up in some ways. Here's an article detailing how the failing New York Times was busted a year ago, when the first part of this story broke last March. The New York Times was caught changing an article title after Trump tweeted the word wiretap. Here's the original tweet from March 2017. "Terrible. Just found out that Obama had my wires tapped in Trump Tower just before the victory. Nothing found. This is McCarthyism." Then here's the New York Times changed article, which originally said wiretapped date used in inquiry of Trump aides, but was later changed after Trump's tweet to intercepted Russian communications part of inquiry into Trump associates. I guess this is newspeak, and it's supposed to sound better, but this just makes everything look shadier and like more of a cover-up to me. A much broader cover-up than Nixon's, which was only in the government. This is the media covering up the government because they like the president, because he's a black Democrat.
These days I look in the mirror and I have to admit, I'm not the strapping young Muslim socialist that I used to be. And with that, I just have two more words to say. Obama out.
You see, during Nixon's scandal in the 70s, he didn't have the luxury of having the media working with him, not like Obama has today. In fact, Nixon, being a Republican, he faced quite the opposite. The media was out for blood with Nixon, very much like the way they aggressively go after Trump today. Now, I won't go so far as to say Nixon is innocent, not at all. He really fucked up some stuff for sure, but the point here is that a smaller fuck-up can be blown up out of proportion into the worst scandal of all time by the media, the news, and the TV, and even movies. All of these media outlets were turned against Nixon violently in the 70s. Woodward and Bernstein were made into investigative journalist celebrities. Their slams against Nixon were published all over the papers, in their best-selling book, and there was even a big hit Hollywood movie made about them, All the President's Men, starring Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman, two of the biggest and most cherished actors of all time.
That's right. She said someone did call her asking about Mr. Hunt month, but all she did was refer him to the press office, and she denies that any other
Total
conversation
bullshit.
took place. I hope that's been of some help to you.
Thank you. Got to get something on paper.
Why, very kind.
Now again, I'm not here to defend Nixon, but do you guys think Obama's much worse scandal is going to get this kind of treatment in the media? Do you really think there will be scathing, cutting-edge investigative reports done about Obamagate? And do you really think they'll make an Oscar-winning movie about it, starring, say, Robert Downey Jr. and Clint Eastwood? I highly fucking doubt it. There's never going to be an All the President's Men about Obama, or an insightful biopic about the dark side of Obama, directed by Oliver Stone, much like his movie Nixon that came out in 1995. Hell, Frost and Nixon came out in 2008 by Ron fucking Howard, another one of the best in the game. That means they're still making world-class, high art, high Hollywood pictures about the scandals of Nixon. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve the hate, but it's pretty clear the media is going to town on him because they're all liberals who hate Nixon because he's a white Republican.
But you do them because they're in the greater interests of the nation.
Right, wait, just so I understand correctly. Are you really saying that in certain situations, the president can decide whether it's in the best interests of the nation and then do something illegal?
I'm saying that when the president does it, that means it's not illegal.
I'm sorry?
That's what I believe.
And in turn, Obama is basically getting away with murder. No hate articles, no biopics showing his flaws or his dark side. In fact, just this week, Barack and Michelle Obama signed a deal with Netflix, getting their own series on there. Check out this article from the Washington Post called "The Obama's Netflix Deal Sounds Great for the Obamas, but is it good for Netflix?" I don't think so, but let's see what they have to say. Because politics and entertainment are inextricably intertwined these days, it felt inevitable rather than surprising when Netflix announced it had signed a deal with Barack and Michelle Obama that will see the former president and first lady produce and possibly appear in content for their streaming service. It's a smart pairing for the Obamas, who are making their first foray into producing in an environment that's likely to give them a lot of time and space to figure out what they're doing. And while the Obamas are just another high-profile pickup for the free-spending Netflix, the deal also hints at some of the limits of the company's current approach to programming.
Welcome to Netflix. Last year, we approved 16 original shows and movies. And this year, it is our goal to make that number 1,087. That's why we here at Netflix are thrilled to be working with you two comedy geniuses, Terrence and Phillip.
You know what? I don't remember President Bush going into TV and getting his own series and shit after he was done with his 2 terms as president in 2008. Not that he couldn't have done it. I'm sure he could have if he wanted to, but George W. did the classy thing. He got out of the spotlight and let Obama take over the country. But it doesn't look like Barack and Michelle are that respectable. They've not only got this Netflix deal going on now, but they've also been doing interviews everywhere, bashing the sitting president left and right. Like a couple of sore losers, if you ask me. They probably would have retired if Hillary had won like they wanted, but now they're trying to fuck with Trump out of spite. Fucking losers. And isn't it rather odd that they're getting this Netflix deal while this Obamagate stuff is just coming out? It's the same fucking week as their big scandal. And I don't think anyone expects their series to address this or be some kind of investigative tell-all. No fucking way. Their Netflix show is going to be a bunch of glowing puff pieces, further trying to perpetuate the myth that the Obamas had a great and perfect presidency, when in actuality, it sucked, and it was more corrupt than fucking Watergate. In the end, this Obamagate story does a really good job at demonstrating the political landscapes in America. If you're a Republican, the media, the news, the TV, and Hollywood will always be working against you. We've seen it in the way they've gone apeshit on Trump in the last 2 years, and they've been doing much worse to Nixon over the last 40. Sure, he had a few legitimate fuck-ups in Watergate, but looking back on it now, with what I know about the media, I wonder how bad Nixon's scandal actually was. And on top of that, we got Obama now who's done much worse, but he continues to get praised by the media, and even given glowing interviews in his own series on Netflix. They really will greenlight anything at this point.
Netflix, you're greenlit. Who am I speaking with?
Yes, hello. We have an idea for a show that we think would be great for Netflix.
Okay, great. Would you like a pilot or just go straight to an order of 6 episodes?
We'd like to go right into 6 episodes with a pickup option at the end of 3.
Got it. Can you start shooting next month?
Got a show about transsexual dragons here.
With all that said, what do you guys think? Is Obamagate potentially worse than Watergate? Was Watergate even that bad for Nixon? Or was he just getting slaughtered in the press like how Trump is now? And is Michelle Obama really a man? Comment your thoughts on everything below, and thanks for watching No Bullshit. See y'all next time. One more thing, I want to give a special thanks to these amazing Patreon supporters. You guys are the best. You guys went above and beyond the rest, and I love you so much for it. If anyone else wants to donate or join our Patreon crew, link in the description. Thanks again.